What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Alright, thanks.
It's no biggie.
I had more questions, like about enemy numbers, but I decided to leave it at that. Better to appreciate Dino's willingness to talk. He'll be a valuable source of info.
Alright then, I'll catch you later.
Oh, wait. Can you tell Ruminas I'm sorry?
Just as I was about to wrap up, Dino asked for a favor. So, I politely declined.
Huh? You can apologize to her later. She was livid and threatened to use all 48 of her special moves on you.
48? Yeah, right. All she can do is drop kicks.
I dunno, that's what she said. Didn't I mention it?
Dino seemed to chuckle at that.
Hey, got it. Later.
Yeah, see ya.
With Dino's agreement, I ended the call this time. And that pretty much wrapped up our conversation. Overall, I'd say it went smoothly. I'd already briefed the demon lords about this whole situation, making it clear that Dino was feeding us intel. That's why there was no need for us to be on edge. Sure, there was always the chance it could be a trap, but if I started thinking like that, I'd be no different from Seal-san. Being overly cautious and jittery isn't my style, and falling into the enemy's trap isn't part of the plan. So, I figured staying natural was the way to go. It's the same approach I took when we heard the angels were gearing up for an attack. I've always been the type to leave things until tomorrow if I can. Like when I had summer homework, I'd go hard at it in the beginning, then leave the rest for the last minute. And if I couldn't finish it in time, well, I'd just stroll into school and be like, oops, forgot it, and deal with the consequences. If they said bring it tomorrow, then I'd do what I could, and if not, I'd claim I lost it. I mean, I tried my best, but sometimes you gotta accept what you can't change, you know? So, constantly giving your all? Nah, it's more about staying focused. Basically, as long as you're ready to take some heat, you can handle anything else. It boils down to owning up to your actions. But I'm getting off track here. I asked Dino to check in with me every morning to see if Michael had woken up yet. Michael shouldn't have omniscient powers. He might be able to manipulate his minions' skills, but I doubt he can read minds. If he could, he'd be swamped with information overload, trying to sift through all that mental noise. I don't think someone who can't even lie to themselves would bother with that. I got that line of thinking from Seal-san. Even Seal-san admitted that while you can chat with someone through the soul corridor, delving into their every thought is a no-go. Maybe you can pick up on surface feelings sometimes, but tapping into someone's deepest thoughts? Impossible. Though I've heard you can get a straight answer if you ask the right question. But I'm cautious about that. I've always felt like people could read me like a book. So, I put some trust in Dino's intel. So, over the past 5 months while Michael was out cold, we've been gearing up for the big showdown. Amongst us demon lords, we set up a teamwork system and had some serious talks with our territories to iron out any potential issues pronto. And when I say us, I really mean me. Sure, the pact to lend a hand to others if needed was meaningful, but man, coordinating was a headache. Just looking at those draining meetings, you'd get why dealing with these self-centered demon lords was a struggle. First off, as promised, I was setting up these magic transfer circles in each demon lord's turf. After the whole Walpurgis ordeal, I had Misery ferry me around to each demon lord's turf so I could bookmark those spots for instant teleportation. Naturally, all the demon lords signed off on this plan. I already knew Guy's digs, the Frost Palace, from our previous powwows. Been to Ruminas' holy empire of Rubirius and its capital, the sacred city of runes, too. Milam's joint, still without a name, was practically my second home. So, I only needed to hit 2 spots, El Dorado, the Golden Land, and Damerganya, the Holy Void. De Gruel's turf felt like a crumbling shrine. Given more time, I'd have loved a leisurely tour, but duty called. I jetted out pronto and got Ultima and the gang ready for dispatch. Turns out, Milam and De Gruel couldn't teleport, as I found out in conversation. And, of course, Ramirez couldn't either.
Nah, not my thing. Same here. It's quicker to fly than deal with all that coordinate jazz.
That's their take on it. Sure, transportation magic's handy, but it only zaps you to places already saved in the system. With the spatial transportation skill, it's a bit more flexible, but you gotta have precise coordinates and a clear mental image of your current spot and where you're heading. Without that, the skill's a no-go. Understanding the relationship between positions and calculating the angle and distance for the jump ain't a walk in the park. It might seem like a breeze, but there's a delay, and it's trickier than it looks. Milam's all about instinct and gut feeling, not so hot on the deliberate calculations. Sure, she's sharp with numbers, but she's just too lazy to bother. DeGruel's more of a musclehead type. And Ruminas, well, you know. The setup of these magic transfer circles was initially Guy's idea, but they could prove handy down the line. Leon and Ruminas had full freedom with their magic and skills, yet their lack of objection to the installation hinted at the device's usefulness. And it wasn't exclusive, anyone could use it. Even folks with minimal magical prowess could hop on board. By harnessing magicules from the atmosphere, we could zap nearly 50 people at once. It'd make traveling between countries with magic circles a breeze. Sure, we could expand the system later, but efficiency was a sticking point. See, transferring living beings requires a hefty amount of magicules. If we relied on natural replenishment, it'd take a week for just one trip. Easy for us with our magical reserves, but a headache for humans. Using it for transporting goods could kickstart a distribution revolution. That might make our hard work on the Magitrain project obsolete and lead to a host of other issues. That's when the concept of compartmentalization came to mind, so I shelved maximizing the device's potential for later. That's why I was setting up these magic transfer circles, though truth be told, I'd already finished them in Demon Lord territories. Now, let's rewind and revisit the scene at that time. The first one I set up was, of course, in Tempest, my homeland. Just to cover all bases, I had one installed in the isolation room of the labyrinth. That way, it'd stay safe even if the enemy got their hands on it. Next on the list was the Holy Void, Damerganya. I tagged along with Ultima and got it done myself, not like I had much of a choice. Normally, I delegate, but this time was different. Besides being short on time, Damerganya was a special case. A while back, the city got wrecked in the epic showdown between Guy and Milam. The fallout from that battle still haunted the place. It's a desolate wasteland, a deadly desert. There are a few reasons it's earned that representative. The sandstorm there eats away at everything it touches, sealing Damerganya off from the world.
As the clash between Guy and Milam's forces went down, it caused some major chaos. To minimize the damage, the energy got blasted into another dimension, but it's still leaking out. That's the root of the mess here.
Seal-san explained. Hard to believe it's still causing havoc after all this time. Anyway, this treacherous spot falls under DeGruel's jurisdiction. In Damerganya stands this massive tower, the Heavenward Pavilion, reaching for the skies. Only the area around it, called the Holy Void, is somewhat safe. Beyond the ancient barrier, there are threats that match the permafrost in brutality. Even weak monsters get shredded by sand blades, and strong ones risk getting wiped out over time. Not even DeGruel and his fellow giants are immune. For the vulnerable, women and kids, even top-tier warriors, it's dangerous beyond the Holy Void's safety net. If giants can get messed up here, it's a death trap for humans. That's why I decided to handle things myself this time, rather than calling in Vesta and the crew. But really, all I had to do was set up the magic circle. The giant disc, made of pure magisteel and engraved with magic runes by Seal-san, stood 1 meter tall and 7 meters wide, exactly where DeGruel specified. The rest of the work fell to the demons who tagged along with Ultima.
This is Rimuru-sama's order. Don't let me down, and get it done.
Ultima gave the demons a fierce pep talk. It was mostly for show, but these demons knew their stuff when it came to magic. With that in mind, I left them to it and stepped back.
Rimuru, are you sure about this?
DeGruel asked, sounding uneasy.
Yeah, it's all good. We've got Veyron, Ultima, and we can even call Zonda back if necessary. The trial went smooth, so no need to sweat the rest of the adjustments.
Absolutely nothing to fret about. Ultima and the crew might not look it, but they're top-tier demons. They've probably racked up more knowledge than I can fathom, so I wrapped up the job without a second thought.
I was just wondering if they might go berserk.
Anyway, I'm out. You handle the rest.
DeGruel seemed like he was about to say more, but I brushed it off. Switching personnel here would just be a headache, so I made a quick exit. After Damerganya came Rubirius. I got a magic circle set up at the spot Ruminas pointed out. Then, it was time for Gobq and the Surmounters who tagged along with him to get to work. Leave it to Gobq, and he'd whip up a top-notch transfer facility. And with the Surmounters' help, fine-tuning the relocation info would be a breeze.
I think we're good to go. I'll keep in touch with Tempest and Damerganya, and we'll get this up and running in no time.
Now that they had taken charge of it, my task here was complete. Now, onto the other matter. Shion, her crew, Adelman, and his bunch were heading to Rumina's turf. I brought them all together this time, but finding a place to crash was the issue.
Don't worry, there's an empty room in my temple, so you can crash there.
That'd be a huge help. Shion, Adelman, just behave yourselves.
Leave it to me. Rimuru-sama, as your faithful secretary, I'll make sure everything runs smoothly.
I have my concerns. I'd rather they lay low and give me a heads up if the enemy strikes.
Still, it's a shame I can't cook. They say even a day without practice dulls your skills.
Isn't that more for delicate skills like playing the piano? Come to think of it, Shion's pretty good with the violin too. Shouldn't she be practicing that as well?
Don't you need to practice your instrument? You're all gung-ho about combat training, but I hardly ever see you with the violin.
Don't sweat it. As long as you practice daily, playing an instrument's a breeze. It's all about the subtle seasoning changes.
This is absurd. Their thinking is completely off. Suppressing my disgust, I pondered whether I owed an apology to all the musicians in the country. Shion believes it all boils down to seasonings, but no matter how you spice it, taste isn't guaranteed. Too much salt makes it too salty, and an excess of sugar's just bad for you. The key is finding the right balance. Clearly, her worries are misplaced. Just then, Ruminas chimed in.
Shion, right? If you're up for combat training, Hinata's got some free time. And if you need it, I can pitch in too. Oh, and about the cooking, I'll set you up with a kitchen and ingredients. Have at it.
Her offer left me speechless. It was so bold that I couldn't help but tremble. I was too stunned to intervene.
Ruminas, having Shion cook for you.
No problem. Hobbies should be treasured in this day and age. I used to have a passion for cooking too. It'll be fun to give it a go together.
Great. I accept the challenge, Ruminas-sama.
Hinata's also a whiz in the kitchen. Let's get her in on it.
You've got to be kidding me. There's so much to unpack here. I couldn't handle this anymore, especially with Hinata being involved. Feeling lost, I left it all to chance.
Adelman, the rest is up to you.
Huh?
He must have had a bad feeling about it. Even Adelman, usually so steadfast, couldn't bring himself to agree with me.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jason Martin, Zach Rosen, Jerry Sladek, Normal Defate, Joshua Andrade, L, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, J Rule, Leiron Sangkap, Lucas Guet, Jason Martin, Ekotski. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.